Are we starting?
Anytime?
Yeah, we have started.
Oh, we have started.
Perfect.
Okay. I'll do, get the open though.
Cool.
How lucky am I? Two of the best known jockeys in the world. Big Money Mike, as well as, Flying Frankie, I mean, do you have a nickname? Do they call you anything special?
I'm happy with Flying Frankie, that's fine. That's good. I'm happy with that. I've been called a lot worse than that.
International superstar Frankie Dettori. How long have you guys actually known each other?
My first recollection of Mike was 1990. I think I came for the Breeders' Cup then, and I came a few days before, and that's how I got to know Mike. And
Foxy, we had Foxy there, remember?
That's right, and it was my first.
Clarify what you mean by that.
Well, Foxy was he was an ex-jockey that was riding. It was riding out work in the morning, and he is a really funny guy. I mean, he's hilarious, and we all would hang out every night at the Garden City Hotel because that's where the boys were staying.
And it was, I was only 19, and it was an amazing Breeders' Cup because they jumped to the shadow, and then Paul Go for One broke down. Lester Piggo made his comeback. I mean, it all happened that day.
Yeah, it was
amazing. It was mad, and that was my first real experience of the Breeders' Cup. And Mike took me under his wing, and he showed me the ropes.
So is that when you were, mostly riding in New York?
I was staying in New York most of the time, and that year I stayed. That was my last winter in New York. Normally we go to Florida for the winter time, but that year I happened to stay the whole winter, and we had a wonderful time. I think you stayed there a few weeks, huh?
I did, yeah. I did. I stayed on, and I even rode the aqueduct.
Yeah, for Muhammad. Muhammad was there, Mubarak, and he wound up staying a while. And it snowed up to this. I had a Jeep. We'd go four-wheeling in the park around there. We were running over things we weren't supposed to be running over.
We were young.
Yeah.
We were young. It was fun.
So what did you know about Mike when you came over before you had met him?
Well, obviously, by reading in the paper, and obviously he was doing really well. He started to do really well. And then, it was nice to meet him. And we were in the same corner as well with our valet. So, it was nice to have a buddy so I could talk to, because I really didn't know anyone. I mean, I knew some of the jockeys in California, but I didn't know anyone in New York. So it was.
You'd come out to California before.
That's
I think the year before, and he had kind of went out there just to watch and learn from some of the great riders in California, and then come to New York and get to watch some of the riders there, like his idol Cordero, was around, and he got to spend some time with him as well. So the whole experience was a lot of fun. I'll never forget it.
Wait, so you become fast friends, but what is it like being friends, in the room and out off the racetrack, but then riding against each other?
Well, I got the almighty respect for Mike. I mean, everybody's competitive. Everybody wants to win. It's nature of our sport. You're gonna try to win. The great thing about Mike, first of all, is an absolutely amazing international rider. He won all over the world, including Ireland, and he's equally as good on the dirt or grass. But also, he brings a very competitive things to the sport, and also is very correct. He rides within the rules, and and I got all the almighty respect for that, because for the young people coming up, he sets an amazing example.
Well, thank you. As he does, and with all the European riders that come up, we're just so blessed to still be in this situation too. Especially at my age, on the back end of things, man, to be able to still compete at this level and get to ride with all my great friends. I mean, he just come off of winning the ARC. I mean, it's just incredible.
Talk about that a little bit. Kind of at the stage of your career, with all you guys have both accomplished, like, what has the past year been like for each of you? Triple Crown, obviously the ARC. Like, how much fun are you guys still having?
But it's same thing maybe you can tell about Mike. He rides a great mare, Zenyatta. You think, well, you're gonna be a horse of a lifetime and never find another one. And then, you didn't have to wait very long, and he lands on Justify. Same as me. I was able to ride Golden Horn 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden, these last 2 years, I've been blessed with Enable. So you never know what's around the corner in this game, and I guess that's what gives us the longevity to carry on, because who knows, around the corner we could have another Triple Crown or another champion in that regard.
You never know. I think if we, me and Frankie, if we did anything right in our early years, I think it was staying physically fit. Because now in our later years, man, we have longevity. I mean, as long as we can stay healthy, I feel like we could still go another 6 years if we have to.
I've seen you out on the track before racing, and you'll have like a a plastic bag and you're running. You're working. So like fitness, I know, is huge to you. Do you spend every day working out? That sounds exhausting.
It's it's just you make it a way of life, and it's a hobby for me. I actually enjoy it. It's something that takes me.
It's a
takes your
routine,
mind away.
it's a routine.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, if I feel the same. If I don't do it, I don't feel right. It becomes part and parcel of what you do, and plus, we maybe we're giving 20 years on the younger riders, so we have to keep up with the Joneses. We have to keep up
you
with
gotta
that.
stay extra fit.
I'd say you guys are keeping up, maybe surpassing the youngins here, so
That's
they can
right.
still learn quite a bit.
When you're young, you could get away with it. Now we can't. Now we have to keep up.
Keep on the straight and narrow and work out constantly. But when you guys are on, like at the track or working horses or such, what do you enjoy doing?
But there is not much time left. To be honest.
It really isn't, especially with Frankie. I mean, he's got children, and I'm engaged, getting married, but I've got no kids, so I spend most of my time in the gym, and then maybe meet the boys for lunch afterwards. After they come off the golf course, I wait for them to come off the golf course, and I leave the gym, and we'll meet afterwards, and have a little lunch and a beer or two, and talk about what's coming up or what's already happened. But I'm sure, man, with his life, man, he stays busy.
I know.
all
I
the
mean,
time.
You travel so much too.
I travel a lot. Obviously, I'll be honest with you, I spend most of my life outside. So when I do get a day off, I like to stay inside. I like to watch TV and just chill out. It doesn't happen often, but that's what we try.
Do you have a favorite show or movie?
I generally like sports, and obviously being in Italian, soccer is massive for me. So I try to watch every game anywhere around the world. So that's my first love, and I like to watch golf on TV. I played golf in the past, but very badly. But I'd rather watch it. They make it look so easy.
Oh, it's too slow for me a little bit. I can't really get into it. But are you guys the type of fans that are you gonna paint your face? You're gonna get that into soccer? Because I know how big it is out there.
In the younger days, yes. Yeah. I'm more reserved now. I'm more VIP and going to corporate box now. Yeah. I'm not a hooligan anymore.
I mean, but gosh, just how much fun getting to travel. I mean, you've been traveling a lot recently with your fiance. Is that a way to just kind of unwind?
I use all the travel. They're my little mini vacations, and especially when I get to go overseas, go to Europe or Dubai. You just try and go a few days early and make a vacation out of it, because that's really the only time we get away is on the trips, actually. So I make every one of them some sort of a little mini vacation.
And do you guys have a favorite track for having been so many? Is there one that you just enjoy going to?
I gotta say Ascot, because that's the place I Route 7, but obviously the American tracks, my favorite is Santa Anita, because I spend most of my winters there. Churchill is full of tradition. Belmont is probably the most European track because it's bigger. Mike, your favorites?
Same way. As far as in America goes, of course, Santa Anita is just gorgeous. Del Mar and Saratoga, upstate New York, is amazing. Belmont's a great place to be, and I've only got to go to Royal Ascot one time, and it left a lasting impression. I really love to get out there with a chance to go back.
You'd want to go back with the
Oh,
right horse?
without a doubt. I mean, even if it wasn't the right horse, I'd probably go, but I'd really have to go with the right horse.
He's gonna come and take my rides, my wrestling rides.
He's taking my American rides, man.
Excuse me.
Because he rides the dirt just as good as the turf.
That's gotta be fun though. Wait, I have to ask you though, where'd the flying dismount come from?
Actually, I started it here in '94. When I was young, Angel Cordera used to come to Santa Anita or Hollywood Park to ride the big races for Lucas, and when he used to win a Group 1, he used to do it.
He used to jump off.
So I copied it off him, and I stole it from him.
He just jumped a little higher.
Yeah, I stole it
he just
from
went
him.
a little higher.
And we started here with Baratheon in '94.
Have you ever jumped off or thought about it?
I slide off. Nice and easy, man. I just bloop, just right on the ground, and I walk away as calm as could be.
But you do have a routine, taking the horse after you win a race, pointing he or she towards the big board, and you look to the sky. When did that start? Why do you do it?
I've always done that. I don't know.
Just keep away, maybe?
I just turn horses out just to kind of let them take a breath, because a lot of times I come back, they're still on their toes, and for some reason it does that. It gives me a chance to thank the man upstairs and turn around and get in the winner's circle. And it gives everyone room to jog by and get out of, pretty much get all the traffic out of the way, because sometimes you pull right in there and everyone's piled up on top of each other. So it's just a little thing to relieve the traffic and the pressure and give me a chance to soak it in a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, lastly, just to round things out, since we're here at the Breeders' Cup, two of the biggest days of racing, for you guys, does it feel different each year? Do you look forward to it, as the Super Bowl or the end of the year championships? Is it something that really you guys look forward to?
It does.
Without a doubt.
I guess as you get older, you get to appreciate the value, the importance, and you probably put more pressure on yourself now than we're in a later stage of our career than when you were young. Because when you're young, you're naive, you're happy-go-lucky, but now you really understand what the Breeders' Cup means, not just for us, for the breeders, the owners, the trainers, the grooms involved. I mean, it's a lot of work goes behind the scene, and we are the last piece of the jigsaw, so we have to try to make it right, and so you do carry a lot of pressure, and you do want to get it right, so it means a lot.
Yeah, very important piece of the puzzle, though.
Without a doubt, days like Breeders' Cup days, man, they just bring. I think Frank will tell you, they bring us up to another level too. So you focus more. Everything just is. It's a lot of fun. It's intense, but a lot of fun, and I live for this day.
And clearly, right here, just goes to show what an international 2 days of racing it is, which I think is great. Thank you both. I think, do we have a question?
Yeah, we got a few questions.
Just a couple questions from Twitter, and we're going to give out a hat signed by the both of you. So these are the ones. Just read them off.
Yeah.
Okay. After the ride on Swain got so badly criticized by the American press, how much joy did it give you to come back and win on the Flying Grey Delamy?
A lot. Listen, I'm still getting.
Right, man.
I'm
That
still
wasn't
getting.
right.
I like that. I still getting a little stick. I'm talking about 1999. About 19 years later, I'm still getting it down the neck. That India Charlie, when I see you, you're getting it from me. He started it off.
He's still going too.
I know.
Still going.
Still
How
going.
do you handle that, though? We were talking about this earlier. Obviously social media opens up the door for people to say and criticize how they want to. Is that tough to handle?
Listen, there is no one person in this life
Part of
perfect.
the game.
You make mistakes, you hold your hands up, and you carry on. You can't.
Talking about it's kind of like therapy. It's like going to your psychiatrist a little bit. It really, it's tough to take it out anyway. So bring it up all you want. I got
Love
a few
it.
bad ones myself.
Love it.
Do I swipe it? Or is it lower? Oh, up. Okay. Of the few race courses around the world that you haven't raced at, which would you most like to, and on which horse?
I figured the most.
That's
Oh.
tough.
I've raced at it once before, but I'd like to go back to Ascot and ride Frankel.
I think I'll join you on that. I think I'll be in the back of him as well.
I don't know. Maybe I can mess it up, but I don't think so. I could hang on him.
I think you two would just be fun.
I think Zenyatta to me, one of my
Yeah,
horse.
there you go.
She's amazing.
What's the one ride you are most proud of?
Ooh. Mine, the Arc de Triomphe 215 on the Golden Horn when I went on my own and we pulled it off.
Mike?
I would say Zenyatta in the Breeders' Cup that
Santa
year.
Anita.
Santa Anita.
I was there. I wasn't riding in the race. I rode the race before, and I legged it down the tunnel so I could watch it live. And I was by the winner's circle, and I mean the place just lifted. I mean it was
crazy.
incredible.
It's a race call you'll never forget.
Unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
I mean the screen was so loud. I didn't hear the race score.
It was a day the ground shook in California, and an
Unbelievable.
earthquake had nothing to do with it. It was just the people. that were so
dramatic and
excited, so.
sensational. It was.
That's the best way of describing
Yeah.
it. Okay, last one, and I know this is going to be very difficult for you both, so answer as you will. Who is the best horse you've ever ridden?
Oh wow. I choose not to. They're all different styles and they're different distances. Milers, mile and a quarter horses. But I would probably have to say at a mile and a quarter all out, the fastest horse would probably be Arrowgate.
What he did in the Dubai World Cup was just sensational.
If you was to just numbers-wise, his number was probably the highest. But again, they're all so different. The best three-year-old I've ever been around in my life is Justify. I've never been on a three-year-old that smart. The greatest mare of all times and could beat the boys probably at any time was Zenyatta. So the list can go on. But if you was to come up with a number and you watch the fastest horse going a mile and a quarter, I would have to say Arrowgate.
Obviously, in my younger days, I guess Dubai Millennium, he was pretty incredible.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And Golden Horn, obviously, was great. And listen, maybe this mare then I ride on Saturday. If she pulls it off, she could be one of the best I've ridden.
2 ARC wins, which she did last year.
Yeah, she
remarkable.
won 3 Oaks and a King George, and she's been amazing. So, but she still has to do it. She hasn't done it yet.
This is true, but she's already done a lot.
She's done a lot.
You guys, thank you both.
Thank you.
I so appreciate the time. Frankie Dettori, Mike Smith.
Not bad for 50 and up.